Hi all. Today, for a moment, let us concentrate on the human energies, right? Let me try to explain you this with the help of a kingdom, an imaginary kingdom that, let us say, existed millions and millions of years ago. So, in that kingdom, how were the people? How was the king? Let me explain. So the king was very generous, kind, very good. He always wanted his people to be very happy. And the musicians of that kingdom were giving their best to make the people happy. Also, the businessmen of that kingdom were not very much greedy. They were doing some kind of positive business in the sense they were not very much greedy, right? Also, the police of that kingdom, the let us say the military men or the police, or you can say the people that are protecting law and order, right? The judicial system of that kingdom also righteous, and the women or the women were very much righteous. They they were not they were not involving into lot of adultery. They were not involving into any kind of business, in the sense, you could understand, right? Yeah. So they were not involving into affairs, let us say, not too many affairs, right? Okay, that's okay. So, and even the husbands were also righteous. They were not trying to involve in they were not trying to involve in affairs. So totally the kingdom was very much positive. The people's energy. So what kind of energy we can observe from king? The energy was very positive, and also the businessmen, musicians, the police, also the judicial system. So everything was very much stable. So you could observe always a kind of complete positive energy from all the people of that particular kingdom, right? So what could you expect from that kingdom? The kingdom was very much stable, and the kingdom must be having, right, must be having lot of longevity, because the kingdom was going towards prosperity, right? Now let us imagine another kingdom. Okay, before imagining another kingdom, let's try to understand, what if a calamity occurred in that positive kingdom that we discussed till now? Let us say a big calamity occurred in that positive kingdom. Then all the people prayed God that they were following very good path. Then why God gave this kind of situation for them, right? Then God replied. So it was because of some natural process, but people of that kingdom be patient enough only for a few days, so that the calamity will be completely gone. And within a few days, some 2 to 3 days at least, the calamity was gone and the people were happy, right? So when these positive people prayed God, God listened to them. God was answering them. God was just giving that reply that everything would be all right in a few days, right? So that was the behavior of a positive kingdom. That was the situation. That was the happening in a positive kingdom. Then what about the other kingdom? So there was a negative kingdom where the king was very much cruel. The king was very much cruel. And the businessmen were very much greedy. The musicians were not making much effort to make the people very much happy. And the law and order completely filled with bribing. The women were involving in a lot of affairs, the extramarital affairs, and even the other stuff. And husbands were also, of course, involving in a lot of extramarital affairs. And I wanted to tell you the kingdom was not at all stable. Right? So every person in that kingdom wanted something, some money to help the other person. So what kind of energy you could observe from each and every person as a whole? You just take the kingdom as an object and you just calculate the positive energy from that kingdom. So if the positive energy, if you give some count to that positive energy in the negative kingdom, the count was very much lesser. But in the positive kingdom, the positive energy was very much higher. So when God prayed, when people prayed, God replied to the people in the positive kingdom, saying that everything would be normal in 2 to 3 days. But what about the negative kingdom? In the negative kingdom, the people were not at all interested to pray God even, right? Let us say at least some people in the negative kingdom also, if praying God, what should be the reply from God? You just imagine yourself. So when the people are not righteous, they do not have a right to ask anything from God. And even God does not reply for their prayers, for their questions. God not going to reply anything. Right? So whenever a bad situation is coming to the world, people at least realize that point of time that the bad situation is because of their non-righteousness, because of their bad behavior. At least the people in authority must be very good by this time. They must understand the situation. They must follow dharma. They must follow the correct rules. They must take care of the common people. They must understand the needs of the common people. They must be very positive. They should not be very arrogant. At least you are the people in authority. You are the people protecting law and order. You are the people protecting judicial system. You are the people making rules. You are the people making decisions of a particular country. So at least you must be righteous. If not, even God is not going to answer your prayers. And God doesn't care about the problems the country is facing. People must not be greedy. People must be helpful to each other. A businessman must not be very much greedy. It's not the time to find out the loopholes and making your businesses great. It is a time to realize that you are already greedy, and it is a time to give something back to the people. It is a time to protect the people. It is a time to protect the judicial system. It is a time to protect the dharma of a country. So be positive, always be positive. All the people must be positive. They must not be very greedy. If you are greedy, greediness is associated with negative energy. Then if there is so much of negative energy in a country, then that country is leading to instability. So people must realize by this time, and the women must realize by this time. The wives and husbands must realize by this time. If not, just imagine what is going to happen. Why you are disturbing the water bodies? Why you are occupying lands? The rulers must question themselves what they are going to take away with them when they are going to die. It's nothing. Just understand the emotions of the people. Just make the people righteous, and you also be righteous. Make the people to follow dharma, and you also follow dharma. If not, this is going to lead to a very big instability. Right? So this is the correction. This is the correction everyone should make. Be happy with what you have and help others. Thank you.